So hey guys, what's up, it's your favorite cousin, and I'm back with another video. So happy Thursday. And in today's video, we're gonna get straight to the point like we always do. I am here to motivate you. That is my job. That is why I am here. Okay, so I want to talk about how once you begin to know who you are, once you begin to love yourself, once you have an inkling of what direction you're going to, and this may come hopefully sooner than later, but we all have different paths, and we all have different scenarios that we have to go through in order to understand and appreciate the growth. So if you are to the point where you are there, or you're striving to get there, you have some type of breakthrough, some type of clarity, some type of sign, from the man above, whatever the case may be, it's like you begin to naturally walk through those doors. And what I mean by that is, the saying, what's meant for you will be for you. And I believe that is true. I think that sometimes we fight so hard to have the desires that we want as human beings, not knowing or foreseeing the future and what God has for us. So in this moment, this is our reality. This is what we want. This is where we are in our space in life. But you don't know what your future may be like. You don't know what God is going to bless you with. And although you don't see the blessings, or I'm not going to say you see the blessings, because if you look hard enough, you'll understand that you've been blessed with a whole lot more than what you think. But if you don't quite understand them now, you're going to in the future. And that's just like with anything in the future. You can look back on a scenario or situation and you'll be like, oh, I wanted this so bad. And it doesn't have to be just necessarily about a relationship. It could be about anything. I wanted to be a part of this group so bad. I wanted to be, in this space so bad. But then you realize that God was paving your own way for you, your own road for you. And you have to understand that. So I said all that to say this. When you are constantly trying to fit something or someone into your life and it does not work out, and I mean from every angle, from the smallest inkling of minute immaturity thing that will not fit is always clashing, then that person is not meant to be with you. And I think deep down we understand that what's for us and what is not. It's just what our flesh overcome, what we want to do versus what God wants us to have. And there's a lot of us, and I say us because I have been in these situations myself. I'm not exempt from them, and maybe in the future I'll be back in this situation, who knows. But what I do understand now is there will be a calmness over you when you realize that something is just not for you. Something, someone's place, people, thing, I don't know, whatever. It's going to be a peace, understanding that I have to let this thing go in order for my growth. And when you become okay with that, you gonna be good in the game. Like you gonna go to a whole nother level. That means you have passed a certain level in your life, because it's hard to let go. And in fact, we're going to talk about relationships. People stay in relationships for years and years and know that this person is not for them. Some people even get married and know that this person is not their person, but because of convenience, or because of comfortability, or because of life circumstances, you stay there and you manage. But are you truly, truly happy? And that is what I ask myself on sometimes too much. I went from not asking myself at all, feeling like I want something and that's what I want, to I'm constantly asking myself, do you see this in your future? Is this really good for you? And like I said before, 9 times out of 10, if we being real and open and honest with each other, we know the answer. But when you overcome that stage in your life, life will get better. That is how you know that you're going in the right direction. That is how you know you listening to God. That is how you know that you are just becoming, because you're no longer allowing your immaturity or the things that you desire now to go with you in your in your future, when it's not meant for you. And I'm not saying everybody, and I'm not saying everything, but you know who and you know who not. You know, in order to be successful, you're gonna have to cut ties with certain people because they are negative. They are comfortable with where they are. They are just comfortable in that space. And maybe you were once in that space, but you're not in that space anymore. So you have to do something different. You have to let go of things that hold you down. And that, like I said, that is not easy to do. That is not easy to do. But once you get the grasp of it, once you understand that God is in control, and once you not do it with being malicious and not to throw something in somebody's face or to be mean or cruel, then you will understand that that is a part of life. That is a part of life. We hold on to things that does not hold value anymore to the new person that we're becoming way too long, way too much, way too hard. We hold on way too hard, but you can do it. It's going to happen, especially even if you're thinking about it, because anything begins with a thought. And if you're thinking about it, then the body will follow. The body will follow next, trust me. And if the body doesn't follow, you have to recheck your heart and recheck, okay, am I just being in my comfort zone because of what I'm familiar with or what I know of? And trust me, and when you let go things like, that's close to you or whatever, trust me, those things, you'll begin to, once you heal and you have that, when you're in isolation with God and you have to go revisit that thing or that people or that place, it won't even affect you as much as it did before, because now God has given you the tools in that isolation season to deal with it. So you can go back around it once you're better and mentally better or whatever, and it won't even faze you like it would have in the past. In the past, it would have stopped you from doing or accomplishing your goals because of, wanting to fit in, or people not understanding the vision, or afraid to be who you really are because you're a part of something. You know what I mean? Like, whatever the case may be. But when God release you out of that isolation season, you're going to come back a different type of person. You're going to have thicker, tougher skin. You're not going to easily be manipulated. But most importantly, you're not going to care about what anybody say and or feel about you. Because now you have confidence in yourself, and people can't sway you by the words that they say. And like I talked about in my last video, and that is why a lot of people are angry, because they know that the tactics that they used before, the toxic tactics that they used before, it no longer work on you. And then that's when they have to go through their phase and they're irritated and they mad because you're not their dummy anymore. So anyway, that's all I have. I love you guys, and just be patient, be kind with yourself. Understand that you're walking in new territory, that you're becoming a version of yourself that you never have been. So be patient with yourself. Be around people who love you, not who's going to judge you and, constantly point fingers, but pray for you. you know, be around people that you desire to not necessarily be like, but that inspire you by the action that they're taking, you know. And one day you will inspire someone else to change their lives for the better. And I'm praying for all of us, y'all. I really am. And I love you guys. I know I said it before, but whatever. I'm gonna say it again. No, just saying. And I'll see you guys next video.